Here we are inside of a Facebook ads campaign that I've spent over $3,000 on in the last week, and I use incredibly broad targeting. Basically, no targeting. And I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about how I make that work and why I'm doing this in nearly all of my campaigns. And by this, I mean using very broad targeting. All right, so with this campaign that I've got pulled up, you can obviously see that I've spent $3,108 on it in the last 7 days right here. This was a lead generation campaign for a specific home service. I've edited the specific home service out and just said home service broad so that I don't have a bunch of people trying to compete with me for this home service. It is a very niche home service. And I will be blurring out the description here, but these are leads. So my results are completed leads or estimate requests for a specific home service, right? And you can see that I've generated 302 of them at a average cost of $10.29. So let's jump into the targeting here and the broad targeting or the lack of targeting that I'm using. And for doing that, I'm going to be using this demo ad set here because that way we can see the audience sizes as these two are running in a split test. It's actually not showing any audience sizes in there. So if we come into the demo, and I'm just going to click on edit right here, the only targeting that I'm using here is this interest targeting of home improvement. I am using age, but otherwise I'm running it pretty much to the entire United States or the selected areas where I've chosen to run it based on the top states. And there's several factors behind why I run it in those states. But broadly speaking, we run to everybody in the United States, everybody in the nation. And I do identify by age, and maybe I'm missing out. I've never tested this. I could go younger than this. But typically this demographic spends a lot of money on their home and home improvements. And then we're going to the interest targeting of people who match, well, the interest of home improvement. And what you'll see right here is that we've got an audience size of 33 million. But then right here is this detailed targeting expansion, okay? And when we target this, it effectively removes the home improvement category right here and just basically targets everybody. So watch when I toggle it, it goes up to 90 million, right? So if I were to delete this interest targeting, you would see we're still at 90 million people, right? So there are 90 million people in the United States over the age of 45 that are on Facebook, right? And by toggling this expanded interest, it opens up my audience to all of these people. So I am running these ad sets right here to basically everybody that's over the age and within my location, right? And it's working incredibly well for me. I think there's a kind of a stigma or I don't want to say a misconception, but there's the notion that exists from a few years back when you really needed to kind of narrow things down on Facebook to make it work. These days, that's not the case. Facebook's algorithm will pick things up incredibly quickly. So if you have a big, broad audience and a clearly defined and valuable conversion event, remember that because I'm going to talk about that in a second, and you've got that conversion event, Facebook will take a little bit of time to figure out who will convert. But then afterwards, after you kind of get a few conversion events and things start happening and the thing starts learning and it starts gathering data and analyzing, it gets very good at identifying who is going to convert, So, when I'm looking at this right here and I'm seeing $480 and $75 a day on these budgets, these ones will keep going up. At least, this one right here where I'm running it in select top states, for a specific reason, and there's a monetable reason behind those. This one will keep going up, and I believe that I can hold this cost per result to probably a double budget here. Double this budget daily is what I was going to say. So this is incredibly scalable, and works very well once you get that first few conversions done. And I'm doing this with basically no data. I launch brand new campaigns using this data of broad targeting. But as I mentioned, it's important for you to have a valuable conversion event defined behind that. So let's talk about that here. And let me fire up my Zoom program so that I can use the whiteboard. I've made a habit of doing this here. I'm basically just going to start a new meeting, not record it, close out of this, and then go to share screen and then whiteboard, right? And what you need to do to make this work is you need to have a valuable conversion event. Because if your conversion event's not valuable, well, then you're basically going to spend a lot of money on things that don't matter. And a lot of people were compensating for this by going to a very narrow audience. And, there's two ways of doing it. Conditional questions, pre-qualifying is what I'll call it. And then the other way of doing it is payment, okay? So these are the two ways of creating valuable conversion events right here. And you need to have one of these in place if you are going to run to a big, broad audience. Okay, so let me just show you what I mean by conditional questions, and I'll kind of explain this first before showing you this example. This basically means that you're asking the user questions on opt-in, and then you're only triggering a conversion event for the people that select it. And payment, well, this means that they're actually buying something from you. So let's just take a look at two examples right here. This one right here, client boost ad. It's going to take you to a multi-step question form. At least it should. I think that's what it's going to. When I loaded it probably an hour ago, it did. So it's going to say, take the micro quiz right here, right? Do you sell B2B or B2C, right? Okay, well now based on that answer, they can trigger a specific conversion event. And they do this by sending you to a separate landing page or adding a URL string in here, right? So they're using these questions to qualify. And I don't know if this is specifically what they're doing here, but this is one strategy, and you could use Typeform in this type of strategy. Basically, they're asking questions, and they're going to gauge, if you're qualified and whether that'll trigger a conversion event or not. By doing that, right, like let's just say that they want users, or they want clients that sell B2B. That's their favorite type of client to work with. I don't know, I'm just making this up. Now they're going to set a conversion event that's only going to account for people that go B2B, right? And then Facebook is subsequently going to look for people that convert, that convert more, and the only conversion options they have are going to be this B2B. So it's going to find more people and optimize for people that are doing B2B. So rather than just doing, something that says, would you like to talk to us about Google Ads, right? Put in your name, phone number, email, and answer a couple questions. They're going to use these questions to actually determine if you're a fit and send that back to Google. They are pre-qualifying you with conditional questions. The other is a payment. Okay, there's a difference between asking if somebody will pay and asking them to pay. And if somebody will pay, well, they're your customer. And in this case right here, I pulled up Traffic and Funnels. I've noticed them doing this a lot. Frank Kern would probably be another good example of somebody that does this. Now that you know it, you're going to notice a lot of people doing it. But if we go to the landing page for this ad, no, that's not it. Landing page for this ad. Right here, you see that they are asking you to buy something. I think this is just a free plus shipping offer for a book or something. And you could do that. You could do something similar, which is like, get access to my micro course, or get access to a course or something, not free training, but training for $30, something where it makes the user pay. Because in this case, they're saying, all right, $1.99 digital exclusive. Even if they just get your $1.99, you are still paying. There's a million people out there that don't have enough interest to even pay. Like, let's just say that if they ran this as an opt-in and then schedule a phone call after opt-in, and then ultimately buy something, they might have 1,000 opt-ins, but for every 1,000 opt-in, they're only going to have, one person that will actually buy the $1.99 thing. Well, by doing that, Facebook is subsequently going to come back and find more people that will pay for this $1.99 offer. And they know that when you pay for the $1.99 offer, you're open to spending money on products and services that they sell, so you're likely going to spend more. And that works a lot better than just by doing a free opt-in. So in doing this, you don't have to worry about narrowing down to an audience that's actually going to buy or qualify. You are getting people that are buying or qualifying and only relaying those conversion events back to Facebook ads. That is how you win using these big, broad audiences. So keep that in mind. Maybe that'll give you something new to test, or maybe you're already doing it. Let me know what you think, and let me know how you think it's going to work for your business using big, broad audiences when you're running Facebook ads. Drop them in the comments below. If you have any other comments or feedback, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, guys, I hope you found this video insightful. That's a wrap. I'm signing off on this one.